flat out, the things that we have created, everything like that, we, as a race, as a species, we are probably very temporary. Let's be real. We are probably going to destroy ourselves before we have the chance to immortalize ourselves. But hey, man,
I'm slightly more up,
when you live
yeah,
fast, you burn bright.
I'm slightly more optimistic, but I'm not 100% sure that you're wrong. But
Hey, neither of us are going to be here to find out.
I'm still holding out hope.
Oh, you're hoping for immortality. Oh God,
They
you
say
are one of those. I remember
they
that
say
shit.
they say that it is very likely that the first human being to live for 1,000 years may have already been born. And
Really hopeful I'm not him.
I am. You know
I
what?
I
I'm okay with being the fifth person to be 1,000 years old. I don't. It's not a contest for me. I'm just saying.
See, I don't want that. I don't even want to live to be 100. I don't want any of that. The whole point, and I remember I've had this conversation. The thing is, I've actually reached my conclusion years ago on the aspect of living forever or anything like that. Hell no, because the things that are important to me now will not stay important to me. They will become blips of memories, and when you live for so long, the thing that would need to happen to you to make an impact on your life, to make you actually feel anything, to actually care about something, would have to be so epic that eventually it wouldn't happen more than once every 1,000 years or something. And
See,
how is that an existence worth living?
I don't agree because honestly, one of the things like even at some of the lowest points in my life, man, I have just loved being alive. You know, even if all I'm doing is watching TV, there's some great fucking TV out there nowadays. I am so glad I got to see it. You know, watching the history unfold. Like, honestly, like, there are things that should bore me now because it's so common, and it still doesn't. Like, I am pretty confident that given the extra years, I would still love every aspect of life that I do now. I mean, even just today, man, I'm not kidding. This literally happened to me today. I opened up a bottle of Dr. Pepper and thought about how much I love that sound of a fresh new bottle of Dr. Pepper being opened. That sound, like, oh yeah, I'm looking forward to drinking this. Love that. I don't know what to tell you, man. I just fucking love life and I don't want it to end.
We're different people.
Okay.
Like
I'm a,
if that's a capability that you have, I think that is wonderful. I think that is amazing, and I am a little bit envious for people who are like that. I know how amazing I think the world is now is not even 1,000th% of how amazing I thought the world was when I was a child.
okay. I can understand that.
And by that same level of jadedness, if that continued, if that just kept going, and the amount, like, because we can remember all the depressing and crappy stuff that has happened in our lifetimes. And the older we get, we keep seeing more garbage stuff happening, and it's 10 terrible things for every decent thing, not even good. And you stack on another 900 years on top of that, and you just keep seeing all that. I just can't see how that wouldn't create madness. Also, another aspect that I would be absolutely horrified by, if you can live that long, being in prison for multiple lifetimes.
Well, don't commit multiple murders for start with.
Oh, that's a great thing. And I guess, just really, 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 really hope that you never get falsely accused of something and wind up as one of those people.
No, that's fair.
Because
No,
could you
I
imagine
understand.
serving 500 years in solitary confinement?
No, that would suck
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Especially if you
But
didn't
I'd
do it.
probably, yeah. But I'd be really happy when I got out.
I don't think I would remember what happiness was. Like, Just being real. We talk about people being imprisoned in the box for a year and it having severe mental like repercussions for the rest of their lives on that.
No, I understand.
Yeah. No,
Well,
like
and here's the thing, and this is kind of like my another point I have. I don't think I should be alone in this. I don't think I should be the only one living for 1,000 years. I think we should definitely have that, and I think if that became a case, if it became the norm through medical technology or whatever, that more and more people are living for 1,000+ years, I think we'll see a major restructuring in things like that, especially when we talk about things like trauma that stick with you your entire life. Suddenly your entire life is a lot longer. We're going to take that a lot more seriously. I genuinely believe that that as a society, as life gets longer, I do believe it will actually become more precious. I know people think that that's an anathema. I don't. I genuinely think that would turn things around.
I mean, because essentially what we're talking about here is we're talking about two different setups for a fantasy series or sci-fi series or something like that. This is world building. So the things that would happen out of that is, one, you either wind up euphoric and you wind up in this utopia. Two, you wind up with people being forced to live much longer lives and wind up as like eternal slaves.
Well, yeah, I mean, the dystopian version of that has been well done in Altered Carbon. Great show.
Still
love
need
it.
to see that.
Oh, you would love it, especially season 2.
Yeah, but I think I watched like the first episode and I just kept waiting for wow, I'm really struggling with people's names tonight. Anthony Mackie. I thought Anthony Mackie was in the show.
He comes in season 2.
God damn it. So I have to watch the entire first season before I get to see my man.
Yeah.
I hate it when they do that. Fair enough. So,
but that's the thing is that, and well, here's basically my thinking on this. Think about it like this. All right. Mm-hmm. If I were to say to you, there is something that we can do to fix the problems of the world. Maybe not fix them, but definitely go to help. Like if we go and join the Peace Corps and we spend the next 20 years planting trees in South America, that'll solve our carbon emissions problem because we'll have planted 10,000 trees and it would get all this stuff out of the air and that would start reversing global warming. You and I could do that. It would take us 20 years of doing nothing but planting trees. That's a big fucking ask. Okay. Especially at our age, because that's a third of our goddamn lives. All right, we got books we got to write. We got movies we want to make. We got movies we want to watch. All right.
There's that.
How are we going to spend that much time just planting trees? Granted, you can sit there and go like, "Fucking A," but that would solve so much. Can we do it? It's a tough ask. But if you know that you've got 1,000 years of your life, that 30 years is literally going to be nothing, you are way more likely to make that commitment. So if we had people living longer, we would see more people getting involved in civic duties. We see more people getting involved in government because it's a much smaller ask now. You could spend a lifetime in government fixing the system and still have more lifetimes
to make that not a dystopian future. Mm-hmm. You would have to take control over reproductive rights.
Why?
People living 1,000 years old and just having babies like rabbits, we'd reach overpopulation in like no time at all.
I don't think that would be that big of an issue.
Bullshit. There's no way. You have people being born, but people not dying in a planet that is already struggling with overpopulation based off of resources?
We're not struggling with overpopulation with resources. We're struggling with resources has to do with manufactured scarcity, not overpopulation.
Water.
Manufactured scarcity.
That is a much deeper conversation that we are not going to be able to bust through on this one. But
okay,
we'll both make one point. How about that one?
Okay, all right.
Okay,
I'm okay with that.
People are in areas that water is not is not water does not exist in those places, so they have to take it out of the groundwater. So they remove the groundwater, and that's causing a lot of cave-ins, and that's causing a lot of problems all throughout the country. So yes, you could go through desalination through the ocean and all that and create that. However, you have all of these regions that are going dry because of that. So those aspects, water as a resource, there are places that are becoming unlivable because we have used the resources of that region.
We haven't used those resources. Unregulated manufacturing and industrialized farming has used up those resources because they're not at all being responsible with those resources. And even the ones that aren't, they're being polluted by other manufacturing.
You can't just blame farmers, man.
Oh, I'm not blaming farmers. I'm blaming industrialized agriculture. Those are two different things.
But I'm blaming straight up cities. You got, I'm saying us. You got people having fully beautiful, green, well manicured, watered lawns in fucking the desert.
That is stupid. Yes, so I agree with you there. But that's
the kind of shit I'm talking about.
And certain responsibilities can be shifted. Yes.
So the people in those regions that are taking the groundwater up to have a green lawn, and it is completely like, these regions have water underground, and that is the way that keeps the ecosystem right. People are using all of it, and they're trashing the ecosystem. It's not just like manufacturing stuff like that. Like, it literally, we are the problem there.
But it's not the overpopulation. It's the fact that we have decided that everybody needs a lawn. That's a wildly new thing. That's only like in the last 80 years that's even a thing.
I don't know. But that is like, no matter which way you really want to cut it, we're doing it.
We are doing it, but we can adjust. That's the thing.
No, true. But that's kind of thing. 30 years ago, 20 years, like I can remember 20 years ago, like the climate crisis, everything we're talking about, like we can change. All we have to do is, that's the point. We don't. That's the problem. We don't do it. People don't do it, and that is the issue. Like, you have to create, and like, yes, the fact that we could do it, the fact that we are capable of doing it, the fact that we have the technology and we could do it, that's not the problem. The problem is we aren't.
That's a deeper thing.
And that's why I was saying, like 1 point per person, which.
I have responses for that, but we'll just let it go.
I know that's way too much. What do you even go into on that?